Here's both of the fledglings in the nest tree. One's actually just kind of sitting in the nest, and the other's a little bit above there. And they're both making quite loud food begging calls. Finally was able to see the one I think is the larger female. Off the nest tree, even though I could hear her yesterday somewhere nearby, and I couldn't see her in the tree, so I'm sure she had fledged, but just couldn't actually see her to confirm it. And she actually made a nice flight this morning, following a parent, I think, straight across the main road, which is kind of the opposite direction to which they normally kind of move after fledging, once they've started fledging. But flew into a pine tree straight across the road with a pretty nice, strong, steady flight. And then followed the adult back into one of the common perch trees that's just on this side of the road, and sort of adjacent to the nest tree. When I came into the park about a little after maybe at 6:15 a.m., one of the adults, I think the male, did appear to be feeding one of them in the nest, so it brought a food item. And yesterday and I think the day before, I'd seen just prey drops being dropped in the nest for one of the hawflets to consume on its own. So right now they do seem to be using the nest as a food drop spot. Earlier, when that one, which I think is the one below, lower down, flew across the road and then followed the adult back, it did seem to, it actually hopped up to where the adult was also roosting in the same tree and got right up next to it, and it was almost kind of poking its head beak to beak and making food begging calls, so it seemed like it was really insistent. That reminds me of the personality of a fledgling from several years ago, which also looked like to be a big female and was constantly, for until it basically finally left the area, was just constantly food begging calls all the time. Now one is, I think, hop down into the nest.